The Light of Mary had the last revelation at a time of great spiritual recovery. As she was immersed in prayer, a vision appeared to her, showing the future of humanity in all its fragility. She saw entire lost peoples, lacking a true moral sense, dragged by a society increasingly distant from God. The world would face a serious spiritual decline, with a humanity that had forgotten the fundamental principles of compassion, love, and solidarity. Their words were clear. Men would cease to hear the divine voice, yielding to the call of material temptations. Egoism and indifference would replace charity, making men unable to feel empathy and mercy. Warnings would multiply, but few would hear the call to conversion. This scenario of spiritual darkness would be the prelude to even more dramatic events, marked by the direct intervention of heaven for the call of humanity. The Light of Mary clearly perceived that the world would go through a period of purification, marked by extraordinary events in heaven and unprecedented natural disasters. Heavenly signs, like inexplicable luminous phenomena, would precede catastrophic events, including earthquakes, floods, and storms of epic proportions. These signs would not be casual, but divine manifestations to shake the humanity of its lethargy and call it to faith. According to the revelation, these events would not have the purpose of destroying, but of purifying so that hearts would return to God again. Before this vision, the Light of Mary reinforced the importance of prayer. It was not only a means of communication with God, but also a spiritual weapon to protect souls from the evil that spread. Prayer, performed with faith and dedication, could mitigate punishments, offering an opportunity for redemption to those who sincerely repented. His own life had been a constant act of prayer and intercession, a bridge between heaven and earth. He tirelessly asked people to never abandon the practice of prayer, to strengthen their bond with the divine through the rosary, and to keep the flame of faith alive, even in the darkest moments. The revelations of the Light of Mary found a strong bond with the prophecies of Fatima. The message he had received was in perfect continuity with what the Virgin Mary had revealed to the three little shepherds of Fatima. A period of great tribulation would fall upon the world if humanity were not converted. The need for consecration to God, penance, and prayer for the salvation of souls was more urgent than ever. The Light of Mary understood that the divine plan was being fulfilled and that humanity was on the brink of an unprecedented spiritual crisis. One of the most intense moments of his last vision was the revelation of the 3 days of darkness. He was shown a future in which the sun disappeared suddenly and the earth was enveloped in an eternal night. The darknesses were not only physical but also represented the spiritual abyss in which the world would fall. It would be a moment of trial during which the only hope of salvation would come from faith and perseverance in prayer. Only those who kept the inner light alive would be protected by divine mercy. He was warned that in those days no artificial light would work and only the blessed candles would illuminate the darkness. Fear would take over many, but those who trusted in God would be guided to salvation. After his death, many witnesses reported extraordinary events. An intense aroma of flowers, inexplicable and persistent, floated in the places where he had lived and prayed. This phenomenon was interpreted as a tangible sign of his holiness, a testimony of his deep bond with the divine. The perfume of holiness was not only a symbol, but a message. The Light of Mary had been a chosen soul, chosen to bring humanity a warning and a call to conversion. His message, although full of warnings, never lacked hope. If humanity repented and found the path of faith again, many of the prophesied sufferings could be mitigated or avoided. The Light of Mary left a deep spiritual legacy, a call to constant prayer, to love for God and to trust in divine mercy. His visions continue today, questioning and inspiring those who seek answers on the path of faith. A reminder not to give in to darkness, but to live in the light of eternal truth. With the passage of time, his message has not lost strength, but seems to resonate more intensely in the hearts of those who seek a deeper meaning in their existence. Many faithful continue to share his words, finding comfort in the promise that, despite the difficulties and trials, divine mercy never abandons those who trust in it. His example of life, dedicated to prayer and contemplation, remains a beacon for all those who wish to strengthen their faith and prepare spiritually for future events. His spiritual legacy continues to expand, inspiring new generations to follow the path of conversion and divine love. Even today, it is said that numerous pilgrims visit the places where the light of Mary lived and prayed, seeking signs of his presence and comfort in his words. His teaching is transmitted from generation to generation, reinforcing the conviction that the divine message was not in vain. Some relate graces received by his intercession, inexplicable healings and profound conversions that occurred precisely through the reading of his prophecies. His name is remembered with reverence, and his life remains a point of reference for those who seek light on the path of faith. It is said that in modern times, the message of the light of Mary finds an echo in the difficulties that the world is facing. Wars, economic crises, and cataclysms seem to reflect his visions, encouraging more people to seek refuge in prayer. Communities of faithful gather to pray together, invoking his intercession and trying to spread hope. His voice, through his writings and the testimonies of those who knew him, continues to resonate as an invitation to conversion and spiritual preparation for the coming times. Many believe that his mission did not end with his departure, but continues in the hearts of those who embrace his message. The faith that the light of Mary transmitted manifests itself in the lives of those who choose to live according to the divine teachings, remaining firm in hope, charity, and confidence in the love of God. The legacy of the light of Mary is not exhausted in the accounts of his visions or in the extraordinary signs that accompanied his life. His message continues to spread through books, lectures, and direct testimonies of those who felt touched by his spiritual mission. Many hold that his words contain a guide to face the difficult times that humanity is experiencing, calling for conversion, prayer, and confidence in divine mercy. Numerous groups of prayer have formed around the world, inspired by his teachings. These communities dedicate themselves to the prayer of the Rosary, the meditation on his prophecies, and the dissemination of the message of hope and redemption that the light of Mary left. It is believed that his intercession continues to work miracles, bringing back to faith those who had been lost. Despite the seriousness of his prophecies, his message never adopted a tone of despair. On the contrary, he always reiterated that faith and prayer can change the course of events. God, in his infinite mercy, always grants humanity the opportunity to be redeemed, and the light of Mary continually invited the faithful not to lose hope.